In today's video, we are going to tell you everything you need to know about how to form a California foreign LLC. Here are the 5 steps that we're going to be covering in today's video. Let's get right into it. The first thing that you need to know before we get into these steps is what is the process of foreign LLC formation. So this process is called foreign qualification. Foreign qualification is just the process of registering your existing business in a new state so that you're legally allowed to conduct business there. So without this foreign qualification, you can only transact business in the state in which you were formed. And also don't be confused here, foreign in this case just means out of state. Now that you know that, let's get into step number 1, which is name availability. In California, here are some of the guidelines for naming your LLC. It must include the words limited liability company or these abbreviations for LLC. Limited may also be abbreviated as LTD, and company can be abbreviated as Co. In the case that your name is already taken in California, you'll have to work under a fictitious name. This is just an alternate name that you will choose, and you'll have to know it later in your application form. Step number 2 is to get a registered agent. You will need a registered agent in California as well as in your home state. Registered agents are required to be residents of that state. This is a person that's going to send and receive important legal documentation on your behalf. This will include tax forms, lawsuits, and government correspondence forms. So the best way to do this is to use a service like Northwest to be your registered agent. Now, the reason you don't want to use yourself as your registered agent is because any of the information that you register with will be on the public domain. That includes everything from phone numbers to addresses and other personal information. And technically, this person needs to be available at all times. So it's way smarter to use a registered agent service like Northwest. This is what most businesses do. And most services cost between $100 and $150 per year. There's a couple different steps that you'll need to do after registering for your registered agent service. We'll talk about those in a minute, but for now, go ahead and click on that link down below and it'll bring you to Northwest's site and we can walk through how to set up your registered agent service. Now that you've clicked on that link down below, you should see this page and we're going to go ahead and select our state, which is going to be California. Once you've selected California, go ahead and click Get Started. Now, once you're on this page, you'll see that Northwest can actually register you in any other state that you'd like. So if there's an additional state that you'd like to get registered in, then you can go ahead and do that here. For now, let's go ahead and just stick with California. Let's click Continue. Go ahead and enter your company name, and then we'll choose LLC here. And also you can choose here to send a copy of legal notices and lawsuits to your attorney. And then at the bottom here, you'll see this button for filing your beneficial ownership information. We'll talk about this a little bit later on in the video, but this is a new form and requirement that started January 1st, 2024. So for only $9, Northwest is going to file this form for you. I'll go ahead and leave it checked for now. Once you're finished with that, go ahead and click Continue. Now I'm going to put in my contact information here. And once you're finished with that, you can go ahead and click Continue. Now it wants me to put in my account information. I'll go ahead and put my email information and then click Generate Password. And once you're finished with that, click Continue. Now it brings you to the business identity page. Now this is a free service that they provide for 90 days. Northwest will give you a domain name for 1 year, a website hosted by them but owned by you, a business email address, and a business phone number. It's really at no risk to try out for 90 days. Let's just leave it checked for now. I'm going to go ahead and click Continue, and then it'll bring you here to the optional items. These are additional add-ons that Northwest provides as an additional service. The first add-on that they provide is changing your registered agent service to Northwest. The next one is that they will file your annual report for you. The next one is the mail forwarding and virtual office service. And the last one is the trademark service. Once you've decided whether those are right for you, go ahead and click Continue. Lastly, it's going to ask you to put in your payment information here, so I'm going to enter mine now. And once you've entered all that, you can go ahead and click Done to finish. Okay, now that you know how to set up your registered agent service, let's get into step number 3, which is to get a certificate of status. Now, this requires you to prove that you're an existing business in your home state. This is also known as a certificate of good standing or a certificate of existence. The cost is $5 for normal online processing and $15 for in-person. And you're required to be up to date on federal, state, and local taxes. This will include payroll tax and unemployment insurance. You'll also need to make sure that you have correctly filed your annual report with the Secretary of State. And lastly, you want to make sure that you're up to date on all your licenses and fees. After that is step number 4, which is the registration application. This is form LLC-5. So the filing fee in California for this form is $70. Now there's a couple ways that you can submit your documentation. The first one is online. This is the one we recommend, and all you have to do is go to the link that we have here at the Secretary of State website. You can also mail it into this address here, and you can get the form on this website here. Just note, like we said before, this option requires a $15 handling fee. And if you choose to deliver in person, you can go to the Secretary of State at this address listed here. And step number 5, the last step, is to file your statement of information. In California, the filing fee for this is $20. And you can file this form online, or you can obtain a paper form at the Secretary of State website. You want to make sure that you're filing this by the last day of your anniversary month. For LLCs, you have to file this every 2 years. The last thing that we wanted to briefly talk about is the BOI form that we mentioned earlier. This is a new form that started January 1st, 2024. This requires most LLCs to provide more information on their owners. We have a whole video on this. We'll link it here and in the description down below. If you want more information on that, go ahead and check it out. Also, just a disclaimer here, this is not financial advice. Please consult your attorney and your accountant to make sure that they give you tailored information specific to your needs. We'll leave all the resources that we talked about in this video down below in the description. Be sure to check those out. That's all we have for you today on how to form a California foreign LLC. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this in the future, leave us a like and subscribe down below. We really appreciate it. It helps out the channel a ton. This channel is dedicated to providing business owners and entrepreneurs like you with free tutorials like this. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.